Hi, thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. My name is Elisa Henry. And next we have Mrs. Angela Yowzi. Your book is Reignite Passion, the guide to a happier marriage. Hi, Mrs. Yowzi. I think I should call you that, even though I know it's Angie to all your friends.
That's all right. Hi, how are you?
I'm excited to talk to you about your book. I read it, I'm newer in my marriage than you've been married for almost 30 years now, right?
Right.
Wow. So yeah, you have a lot of expertise. You were married before, and this is your second marriage. You guys raised 6 sons together.
Correct.
That's a book by itself.
Exactly.
So talk to us about why you decided to write this book.
Yeah, well, we had when we first got married, because the dynamics of our family and how difficult it is to merge two already established families together, and then also having 6 boys, so it was a lot of work. And people would ask, how do you guys maintain your relationship? And you can pretty much tell a good relationship when you see it. And people would always ask, how do you guys do this and have all these kids and have a business and have my career? So we just knew kind of how to maintain a healthy relationship. We always said, and even from the start, that we needed to make sure our relationship stayed current. So we put a lot of time in us, and my husband would always say, one day these boys are going to be gone, so we've got to just slow down and take time for us. So we did.
Yeah. It's funny because I think I met you probably like 10 years ago now. But when I met you, I thought, oh, they just got married because you guys are so just obviously in love. But no, you've been married for a long time. So that's a great example.
Awesome.
Now, you talk about in your book that a great marriage is not an unrealistic expectation. And so talk to me a little bit about that, because there is, even this week, we hear bad marriage for life with a certain celebrity couple. But tell us how a great marriage is not an unrealistic expectation.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those things, you have to see value in it. People who prepare for marriage, they spend on average 13 months preparing for marriage, but then most people don't even do premarital counseling. So you have to invest time into it. It just doesn't just work on its own. If you think of a business, you have business meetings, you have planning meetings. Marriage has to be the same way. You just can't expect it to be successful without investing any time into it. So we've always, made sure, and even with the couples that we coach with, that's usually one of our assignments. You guys have got to plan a date before you come back to us. So, keeping it fresh, and it should be something where you just go and enjoy each other and laugh and have fun and keep that spark kind of lit in your relationship.
Yeah, you talked about how people prepare for a wedding. They spend months and months preparing for that wedding, but not for the marriage. And then you also compared marriages to a garden. So talk to me about that analogy.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite analogies, because a garden is, your marriage is your garden. It's where you have to invest in some time into it. Otherwise, if you don't go pull your weeds, the weeds will overtake your garden. You might get a little bit of benefit out of it, but not as much as you could. So we always tell people, what are the weeds in your relationship? Is it too much time investing into the kids and none investing in yourself? Is it too much time spending it on social media or girlfriends, or, whatever it is, you have to limit. Social media has been a big conversation with most of the couples that come to us anymore. And, we spend a lot of time discussing, okay, if that's a weed in your relationship, do you really have to have that? So it's just evaluating what's really necessary in your relationship. Is it just noise? Is it just weeds? If so, you really don't have to have those things if your marriage is really valuable to you.
And you also talked about that the greatest weapon that you use to take care of yourselves and each other is to spend time in prayer and in the Word. So tell us about that and how that's had an effect on your marriage.
Yeah. Oh boy. Honestly, without it, I don't even know, because there's times when, I always tell people, prayer is not some, just some religious, exercise that we want people to do. It really does help you to hear the heart of your mate. because you don't go to prayer and waste time praying about things that really don't matter to you. You're praying about those important issues, and then you're moving on. So when my husband and I pray, it always touches my heart every single day, because we pray every day. And when he prays for me, he will say things that I didn't even know he was even thinking about or concerned about. Even this morning, he in our prayer time, he prayed about this interview with all of us today. And I didn't even know he really knew it was happening. So, you know, it just touched my heart that he paid attention. So when you do pray, it connects you to, and you hear the heart of each other. And also it takes the pressure off of just you two fixing your issues or fixing things that concern you. You actually are asking God's help. So, you know, that's alone kind of develops great unity in a marriage.
Absolutely. You waited until the end of the book to talk about sex, and then you even talked about finance a little bit too. And I think some people feel like, well, we have a bad marriage because the sex is the problem, but you're saying that may be the outgrowth of other problems if people feel like they're having problems with sex in their marriage. So tell me about that.
Sure. So usually, now, unless there's some medical condition, then sex is something that people think happens in the bedroom, but it doesn't. Sex happens all day long, you know, just that chemistry, just that special. My husband, he always finds songs on the radio and he sends them to me, and he'll say, you need to listen to this song. It reminds me of you. You know, that's preparing me for the act of sex. You know, if he just came home, hadn't talked to me all day, hadn't been concerned about my day, didn't check in with me, and then come to bed and want to have sex, it probably is not going to be very good. So, but because he did all those things to keep us connected throughout the day, sex is just effortless. You know, that's the way it's supposed to work.
Talk to us real quick about guarding your heart. I thought that was so powerful when you talked about that section in your book. So tell us what you mean when you say that couples should guard their heart. Yeah,
you know, a lot of people, especially with now access to the internet, even on your phones, a lot of couples that we deal with, they're dealing with pornography, you know, just the text messages, flirting on the internet. Those are the things that you allow in your heart. The heart is, out of it comes the issues of life. Everything that's important to you is in your heart. You know, all of us doing what we do here, all of these beautiful authors, these are the things that are really important to them, that's in their heart, that drives us. So you have to protect your heart, because it could lead you to divorce even. So a lot of people don't realize. We had a couple we work with, and he has a habit of, he likes to flirt. He said he enjoys it. He enjoys the attention of it, but it's not going to go anywhere, he says. But, you know, those are the kind of things that you have to realize can go somewhere. And so, you know, just protecting your heart, what you allow into it, is extremely important. And it's going to, you know, determine which direction your marriage is going to go in.
Really, really good advice. So your book, again, is Reignite Passion, the guide to a happier marriage. And tell us how people can find out more about you and get a copy of your book.
Great. So we're on Facebook, of course, like everybody else. And it's The Real Marriage with the Yowzies. And also you can go to our website, which is www.therealmarriage.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Now, anything else you want to say about your book?
Yes, I would. I would like to just say that it's never too late to reignite passion. So I don't, you know, if you've been married for just 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 30 years even, it's still never too late. And I always say, you know, nobody got married so that they could have a boring relationship. You got married because you felt that passion. So why not rekindle it and reignite it? So yeah, reach out to us if you need a little help with that, and we would be happy to even do a Zoom call, or if you're local, we'll meet with you here.
Awesome. Thank you.